Summer's definitely over. It's fall. It's raining. The leaves are turning, as you can see. And I'm about to head out on the DR-Z4s to do my freeway test. And I just want to say thank you to Break Free for not only sponsoring this video, but for keeping me safe while I'm out there on the freeway dodging cagers on this bike. Before we attempt this suicide mission, I gotta get some gas, but a couple things to point out. I reset this trip odometer on my last ride, and the gas light started blinking at about 70 miles. Now, it's got over 2 gallons of gas, and it claims I'm getting 46 miles to the gallon, so I should have, a little over 100 miles of range, but it's concerning how early that comes on. I can't stress enough how much you should not do anything I'm about to do. This bike is on the worst possible tires to take out on the freeway, and it's wet. Golden tire fatty, not great on the freeway. D-Sport rear, brand new, barely scrubbed in, not great on the freeway in the wet. So, don't do what I do, I'm dumb. I was also testing out the traction control, because I thought I should leave it on in the rain, but it severely limits the power, like to the point where I wouldn't be able to accelerate fast enough to get on the freeway. I'm missing something there, clearly, because I don't understand. Unless it's just because you want to calm it down a lot, but we'll see. So, we're going to do about 15-20 miles of freeway here, and then we'll leave the freeway, get in a helicopter, go to Mexico on a closed course, and test out the top speed of this thing. But first test, of course, is always merging onto the freeway. Hopefully you can see the speedo. I'll tilt this down slightly so you can. Now, hopefully it's not too low, but we'll find out. Not going to push it hard around the corner. And I couldn't find my pin lock visor for this, so speed is going to be what clears it. At least it's not actively raining at the moment. All right, let's merge. I will say it is very easy to quick shift this, so that is nice. Smooth Japanese engineering, but there we are, 75. Oh yeah, this pavement is hella grooved too. Not great for what we're trying to do right now. It is what it is. All right, let's cruise at 75 for a bit. So plenty of power to merge, not surprising. Also, I apologize for the wind noise. There's no windscreen, and I'm on a dual sport, and I'm going 75, so deal with it. Power-wise, cruising at 75. I've got plenty to spare here, and we'll discover that if this guy ever gets over. Oh, there we go. Now, accelerating in 5th is slow, but look, like I'm 80, easy. So if I downshifted, I could definitely accelerate faster than that, but I can cruise at 75 or 80, and the bike is relatively comfortable. It's definitely buzzy. My biggest concern with this was with them not adding the 6th gear, is it actually highwayable? And honestly, it's either exactly the same as the old DRZ or like 5% better, because they did not change the gearing at all. They just say that it makes more power to lower RPM, so it's not as buzzy. There's a ton of vibration in the handlebars. These are not the stock bars. I don't know if there are weights on the stock bars that deaden that. I think if I was going to spend a lot of time on the highway freeway with this, flex bars or some kind of rubber mounting would be something I would consider. Flex bars are good anyway for the type of off-road riding I want to be doing on this bike. And there's a little vibration through the foot pegs too. Again, none of this stuff is surprising, but some motion foot pegs or something that's rubber mounted down there would take some of that out too. It's not unbearable, and this is not your I'm doing 25 hours across the freaking country bike. You're not doing an iron butt on this bike. Your roading is a means to an end. I will say it is better in my limited experience with the 500 XCF and those types of bikes on the highway freeway. This is better than that. It's pretty comfortable here at 75. Hold on, let's slow down. Let's put it in 4th and see. Yeah, it is. Like, you can accelerate, as you can see, but pretty tapped out up here. Like, it's not gonna, you're not doing a wheelie. You're not doing a power wheelie in 5th gear at 75. But in terms of freeway cruisability and speed, does not feel like the motor is working too hard. The other thing I like about this bike, some things that are disadvantages off-road are advantages on a road like this, because the extra weight, while I was in the buffeting of that truck back there, and it was kind of giving me a wibble wobble, it was not blowing me around like the lighter bikes do. So, another advantage there. I don't know, all in all, it's pretty good. Like, my rally is better wind protection on the highway, but in terms of vibration and all of that, it's pretty similar, which has been a big question of mine, because what I'd like to see this bike as, and what I'd like to do with one maybe, is put a bigger tank, at least 3 gallons, maybe a tiny windscreen like the small fairing I had on my 450L, because I'm very confident on this bike off-road, and so just making it tolerable on the highway would make it a lot better as a BDR bike for like a close BDR. So like Oregon, I gotta ride, 4, 5, 6 hours to the beginning. Obviously not straight, you would stop a bit, but that I would consider. Washington, it's about 5.5 hours home from the end. I would consider that from home. Anything else, anything farther than that, like NorCal, I would probably trailer down. But I would be okay with the ride back, and that's another big factor, is like NorCal, if I trailered down or parked halfway like in Reno, then I would have 5 hours to the beginning and then 5 hours back to my car at the end. So for a 5-6 hour commitment, I would do it on this bike. I don't know, tires-wise, I don't know. Everyone says the Golden Tire Fatty is fine, and it is. It's just chasing these grooves a lot right now, so grain of salted. But wind is pretty much what you'd expect on a dual sport on the freeway. I can't, honestly, look how casually we're just cruising. I've been terrified on smaller dual sports on the freeway before, just like not enough power and getting blown all over the place, and I'm not feeling either one of those things. So the only thing that's making me uncomfortable is just the seat and the seating position. I think the pegs, I wish they were a little lower, and I'm not even tall. And there's a little vibration, but nothing crazy out of the ordinary. A DR650 would be a little better. It's honestly not that much worse than my KLR was, if I'm being honest, and I feel like the power's about the same. So is it like the most comfortable? Is it a Goldwing? No, but it is pretty good for a dual sport. Better than the smaller dual sports because you just got a lot more power, more comfortable, confident power. I'm not saying I don't wish it had a 6th gear. I think it would be pretty damn perfect if it had one, if I could just upshift once right now and just cruise. Just in overdrive gear, I wouldn't even need it otherwise anywhere but on the freeway, and that would be great. I wish I had that. I don't. It's not awful. It's no worse than the old DRZ. If anything, it's 5% better. On the freeway, you got to be pretty defensive, right? There's 3 things you can do. You can maneuver, swerve, you can slow down, and you can speed up to get out of trouble. And while it's not sport bike fast, it's not Touring 660 fast, it's not KTM 890 fast, I can put it in 4th and get away from stuff if I need to, yeah. So I really do think with a better seat, maybe some rubber mounting here and there, and like a rally fairing, just like the Adventure Spec one I had on the 450L, enough to get it off your chest and have a place to put your GPS, this could be a pretty good BDR Slayer type bike. And without the high maintenance intervals, the 450L, the 500 EXCF, it's not as good off-road as those bikes, but the difference between it and those bikes on-road is more than the difference off-road. It more than offsets it, I would say, I feel like. Plus you've just got reliability and, maintenance, and DRZ is just a freaking do an oil change once a year and spray some lube on the chain once a while, and that's about it. So freeway riding, if a Goldwing is a 10 and a freaking dirt bike is a 1, it's like a 3.5, maybe a 4. It's pretty good, honestly. Like, it's not a hell no, it's just like, if I have to, you know what I'm saying? I will if I have to. It's worth it to have this bike when you get to the off-road stuff. A day of discomfort on the way to the BDR and home at the end is worth the 5 to 7 days of easier riding you'll have in the middle. All right, we're gonna get off the freeway up here, and then we will fast travel to Mexico, and then we'll see how fast this thing goes, theoretically, on a closed course. Which way you going, buddy? If only there was some way to indicate which way you were going, some kind of indicator, so I knew whether or not I could go around you. Somebody should invent that, like some kind of signal that tells people when you're turning. What's it called? What should we call it? Like a signalizer? Yeah, that'd be good. A turnerator, a letter knower, or maybe like a freaking turn signal. I don't know. Blinker, call it what you want. Somebody should invent those. Apparently, Chrysler's don't come with them. Get the scientists working on the blinker technology immediately. Dudes, he's encroaching on my decrees! While we move from the freeway to the top speed test, I just want to take a second to say thank you to the brake-free people who are keeping me safe right now. They're with me on this ride by keeping the other drivers on the freeway off my ass and letting them know when I slow down.
This system could not be simpler because it's driven by an accelerometer. So if you slow down, it knows you slowed down whether you hit the brakes or not. Your taillights on your bike are small and low. So you get something like this on the back of your helmet that puts it up right in the driver's eye line. And when you slow down, they know, and you don't have to deal with looking in your rearview mirror, puckering your butthole and hoping that they don't crash into you at a stoplight. This thing tells the drivers behind you what's going on all the time. It is not expensive. It is really easy to use. No app, no connecting it to your bike. It just uses an accelerometer and the battery lasts forever. I've used it on a week-long trip and not charged it once. So it attaches to the back of your helmet with this mount here. Comes off that easy, goes back on just like that. Highly recommend the Break Free. I'll put a link to that in the description for you, and you can use my link and save 10 bucks off the cost of one of these bad boys, which could save your life. So probably a good investment, money well spent.
I'd like to thank the Dork chopper pilot for flying us over here to Mexico. That felt like no time at all has passed. Let's see if we can get a top speed run, an acceleration run down this, if there's enough straight stretch here. We'll see. I don't know these Mexican roads that well, but not a freaking MotoGP rider. I'm just gonna accelerate as fast as I'm comfortable with on these tires. Are you ready? Go. Alright, 0 to 60 is not terrible for a 400. Alright, this downhill will help. A little downhill, a little Mexican downhill. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna get crazy high on this one. Oh, and the speedometer is set to kilometers per hour, just FYI. I don't know what the wind's doing. We could be into it, but we're pretty tapped here at 81. Pretty tapped at 81, looks like. Yeah, I'm not getting anything else. I could try to go to 4th, I guess, but... Nah, we're gonna hit the rev limiter. Okay, 81. Let's try it in a different direction, just in case the wind is affecting it. So good to know. I mean, again, that's me. I'm wind resistant, I'm heavy. A lighter, narrower rider might be able to push it to 85, but I'm not shocked. You could swap the sprocket if you were trying to get a little more highway, but you'd lose some of the down-low punchiness. Oh, that front brake is absolutely gone. It's totally That's a problem. Yeah, like 0 pressure on the front brake. Jesse, what did you do to this thing? Oh my God, dude. I'm gonna take it easy because I only have a rear brake right now. But let's try one more. Let's just see. Weird. I thought it felt funny. Hopefully it's not locked. That would slow us down quite a bit. It's probably not smart. Yeah, I'm gonna say 81. Oh, I got 82. I got 82. Let's just say 82, 85 on a good day, and not push it anymore with the front brake being weird, because I'm going to assume it's not going to lock up on me, but who the hell knows? I'm not blaming the bike for this. Jesse wrecked this so hard he broke his frickin' collarbone. We're still sussing out everything that was damaged on it and that accident, so I'm not saying the DRZ is failing. I would not blame the motorcycle or the engineering at this point. Definitely crash damage, I'm guessing, but let's take a look. Yeah, I don't know why I'm taking my foot off the pedal if I think I'm going to be able to stop without a front brake. There's nothing on the rotor or anything, so I must just lost pressure in the line. Oh, well this doesn't help. Could be this thing vibrating all the way loose. Let's see. Oh yeah, that actually helps a lot. Weird, okay. So high speed vibration is going to be a problem on this bike. We'll see if this is it. I don't even have my multi-tool, but... Oh, I've definitely got pressure now. So Loctite and double checking all your stuff if you're going to go on a trip like this. Oh, suddenly I have a brake again. Oh, so weird. I was not expecting that to be the problem. It's fine. There's nothing wrong with the brake. It's just the lever was vibrated loose, so I gotta crank that down when I get home from Mexico, which is a long ride, but I think I'll just take the helicopter back. Crisis averted. That was scarier than it needed to be. Yeah, I've got brake again. Awesome. So in terms of freeway speed and top speed for the DRZ, exactly what you'd expect. It's not very different from the old one. Like I said, it's maybe 5% better at the freeway. Now I also have a very fat, bumpy tire on the front, oversized front tire, and a very knobby rear. So the vibration might be better with streetier tires, but I would never run those, so I don't care, because that's not why I would buy this bike. It's not for highway comfort. The question is not, is it comfortable on the highway? Is it tolerable on the highway? And I think it is. As much as any other dual sport, you know what you're getting yourself into. It's not significantly worse for the lack of a 6th gear, but I definitely, if it had it, it could be significantly better. So I still think that's a big miss. Big miss. You could have made this the capable dual sport that's also super tolerable on the freeway, highway, because it has plenty of power to do both, and I don't know why you don't do that. There's gotta be a reason. I'm not an engineer. I don't know what it costs to frickin' add a gear to a gearbox, but just an overdrive gear, and this would be the perfect dual sport for everything I want to do. I don't know why they don't do it, but they don't. So that's the freeway test. If you want to see more DRZ videos, I'm going to make as many as I can for as long as I have it. I don't know how long that's going to be, and I'm going to try to do a review at the end. So make sure you're subscribed. There's a whole playlist of DRZ videos. If you missed the first ride, where I took it out into the freaking woods and did trail riding and stuff, please check that out. So thanks again to Break Free for sponsoring this video. Check out that link. You can save 10 bucks on a Break Free if you use my link. But for now, and as always, I just want to say thank you very much for watching, and please do not forget to be excellent to each other. Thank you.